Welcome to episode 147 of Cameron Sports Podcast. This is your sir, Cameron Lindsay, and I'm back with a brand new episode. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about my LA Chargers clinching a playoff spot for the 2025 season, the second straight season in a row. Like I said, last week they defeated the Dallas Cowboys 34-17 to improve to 11-4 this season. The pros I got from that game, O-line played outstanding. Best game by far I've seen them, because I ain't gonna lie, I think out of all 32 teams, we got the absolute worst offensive line. Now, granted, that factors into because the injuries we had. First off, our All-Pro, Pro Bowl tackle, and Rashawn Slater getting hurt before the season even started. I said that way before the season started. Week 1, before he even played the Kansas City Chiefs. Joe Alt went through some injuries then, and finally at a game against the Tennessee Titans on the road, he goes down with injury for the season. So there go both our tackles. Herbert running for his life almost every play, every game, getting beat up, bruised up. Now he got a pre-playing. He's fighting through a broken non-throwing hand that's not fully healed, but they play their best game. Now, granted, I know the Cowboys don't have the best pass rush. Mainly trading Michael Parsons before the season started. But if you're going to use a team that has a horrible offensive line, you down to at least get a couple sacks on them. And we had, I think, 9. I heard that we had 9 different starting tackles combinations. Like, it's ridiculous. But they played outstanding, giving up no sacks in that game. I was proud. I was watching that game, went back and watched the highlights of that game. And they played outstanding. I looked at the stats. They didn't give up no sacks on Herbert. And I'm happy about that, because I thought, it's a possible chance they're going to at least give up at least 2 or 3 sacks maybe. So that's good. We had a solid run game. Our rookie running back, Omari Hampton out of North Carolina, Kamani Vidal. We ran the ball pretty solid. And great game by our wide receivers, getting open, catching the ball, moving the sticks. Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Lad McConkey. Good job by them trio. And Justin Herbert had a great game also. Phenomenal game by my quarterback, QB1. He looked amazing. He's been carrying his team. He's been carrying us all season long on his back. And, there's no, in my opinion, not just my opinion, I feel like the stats will back it up. And you look at him on the field, his play backs it up, because I think he's the toughest quarterback in the NFL by far. Because I don't think a lot of quarterbacks cannot play through that horrible offensive line, get hurt, have a broken non-throwing hand. You playing through the pain of that. He literally got hurt in the game, came back and finished the game. I don't even think since Herbert been the starter, I really haven't seen him miss a game too much. Maybe I think he has missed a couple, maybe. But really, if he can fight through it, he's going to try. And I think that right there tells he loves the game of football. He loves being a Charger. He grew up a Chargers fan. He grew up an Oregon fan. He went to college there, played there. He got drafted by my Chargers, but with the 6th overall pick in 2020. Now, granted, I'm glad. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Tua. Not saying I didn't want Herbert, but I'm glad we made the right decision. We did. My Chargers, if you look at our history, we always drafted and picked really good quarterbacks. Dan Fouts, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, and now Justin Herbert. Every time it's time to find a new quarterback, we always pick the right guy. From those quarterbacks I just named, like I said, Dan Fouts, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Justin Herbert, even Doug Flutie a little bit. He played a little bit, but that's not a guy we drafted. That's more, picked up for agency, signed, but those 4 quarterbacks right there that's been franchise guys for us have been wrong. And Dan Fouts about a Hall of Famer. Drew Brees is going to be a Hall of Famer. Phillip Rivers is going to be a Hall of Famer one day. And I think Justin Herbert's on his way one day. So I think he's the toughest quarterback by far. I don't even think Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, none of them, Lamar, can play behind that offensive line and carried his team on his back with a average core of weapons. Not saying our guys are bad, But Quentin Johnston's still young, Ladd still young, Keenan. He might not be the old Keenan, but he's still third in Keenan. And you gotta respect his route running. He's one of the best route runners still in the NFL, even at this age. Still one of the best. Now, cons, I'm not going to lie. I was at first going to say none because they played flawlessly. Our defense played amazing. Offense played amazing. But I will say if I had to pick I did pick a one thing. It's not a big deal because we came out to win. We dominated. They did give up 100 yards to wide receiver George Pickens, 7 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Now, that's nothing to be ashamed of because George Pickens has having like an all-pro year. He just got named to the Pro Bowl. So I'm not. Now, if we would have lost, yeah, but we dominated, won the game. I'm not tripping too much about it, but that is the one con, if I had to think about in this game, that I got from it. Now, the player of the week, you already know who it is. Jay Herbo, a.k.a. Justin Herbert. Went 23 of 29, 300 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown. This was his 6th career game where he had 300 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, and a rushing touchdown in the same game. On throws down the field, Justin Herbert was 10 of 13, 209 yards, 2 touchdown passes, no picks. He had 157.9 passer rating. So throws down the field, that means throws past the 6. So wherever the first down marker was, that's what his stats, 10 of 13, 209 yards, 2 touchdown passes, no picks, and 157.9 passer rating. So, granted, he played amazing, outstanding game by Justin Herbert. The best game by far this season I've seen him play. And to be honest, I think he should be considered more than MVP ballot. To be honest, because look at our record. We're 11-4. We still got a chance to win the AFC West. Heck, we still got a chance for the number 1 seed. So I think Justin Herbert should be an MVP candidate. Now, granted, he won't win it. I think that probably will go to Matthew Stafford. But I think he's having a phenomenal year. 3,000 passing yards, 25 touchdown passes, 12, 13. But he's been carrying his team on his back with a horrible offensive line. I think there has been no player. I know I'm a Chargers fan, but I'm also saying this as a journalist. There has been no player more valuable to Justin Herbert, to their team than Justin Herbert is to the Chargers. Because look at this. Shout out to Pick a Side Podcast. Joel and them boys said it at best. Joel said it in particular. If Justin Herbert was not on the Chargers roster, or if he was out for the season, we will probably have the number 1 overall pick. No joke. I can say that as a Chargers fan too. If Justin Herbert was out for the season, and I'm not knocking on this table, that nothing happens to him, please don't. We would have the number 1 overall pick. No doubt about it. And I just think he's more valuable this season than anybody. But, hey, like I said, player of the week, Justin Herbert, by far, granted, played an amazing game for us. And like I said, top 10 quarterback for a reason. The stats back it up. It's not just me saying that as a Chargers fan. Literally, top 10 quarterback, hands down. But my player of the week, by far. But also, I want to give a shout out to another player who could have been my player of the week, wide receiver Quentin Johnston. He became the first Charger since Antonio Gates to have back-to-back 8 receiving touchdown seasons in a season. Against the Cowboys, he had 4 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown. So he had an amazing game. That one-handed touchdown catch he did in the end zone was amazing. Really all season long. Now, granted, it was a stretch where he got cold, but really overall this season, he looked pretty solid. He's been looking good, and that's I definitely appreciate that from Quentin. I was a little iffy after his first year 2 years ago, but each year he's been getting better these past 2 seasons. And like I said, back-to-back 8 receiving touchdown seasons since Antonio Gates. And that's something big because Antonio Gates is a Hall of Famer. And, hey, not saying Quentin Johnston going to go to the Hall of Fame. I ain't saying that now. But that's a big accomplishment for him, especially in our franchise. Shout out, good job, Quentin. Shout out to him. Now, some big news, like I said in the beginning of this episode. With the win over the Cowboys and the Colts losing to the 49ers, my Chargers have clinched a playoff berth for the 2nd straight season in a row. That means a lot, because like I said, last year in our first season with Jim Harbaugh, I didn't really have too much expectations to make the playoffs. I just thought like because the season before that we were horrible, we were bad. We had a top 10, top 5 pick. We were horrible. Something like okay, it's gonna take a little minute. Maybe this could be a season where we maybe at best win 7, 8 games, be somewhat competitive. But no, we won. We went 11-6, I believe. Won 11 games. Yeah, 11-6. Won 11 games, and made the playoffs. I took that. Now, granted, we lost against the Texans in the wild card round. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but that exceeded my expectations. Now, the second year, again, I went now back-to-back 11-win seasons, 11-4. With these injuries, I was like, yeah, we don't look like a playoff team. I don't think we deserve to make the playoffs. But we fought it. Justin Herbert carried the team on his back. Jim Harbaugh is a great head coach. Everywhere he goes, he wins. I feel like without Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh, this team would probably be the worst team in the league, maybe. I'm not even going to lie. Without them two. Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert are almost the perfect quarterback coach duo next to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Because I feel like Jim Harbaugh is already a coach wherever he goes, he wins. And I think Justin Herbert by far is the best quarterback Jim Harbaugh has ever had. The most talented by far. Because, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith, people like that in the NFL he's had. But Justin Herbert, the arm, he can make all the throws. He's athletic. He's tough. So I just think it's a perfect combination with these two for my Chargers. But yeah, I'm extremely proud of this team. Second straight season, make the playoffs. Like I said, last episode I talked about, are they playoff contenders? I have to say, yeah, after that winning, the past couple wins against the Chiefs and now the Cowboys. Now, granted, you can say Patrick Mahomes got hurt, but most of that game, Patrick Mahomes played, and we won that game. Swept the Chiefs, finally. We are 5-0. I'm going to get to the 5-0 in the AFC West. So... And yeah, I'm just proud of this team. Now, also, some big news. The Broncos lost to the Jaguars. They fall to 12-3. And reason that's important is because that gives my Chargers a chance to win the AFC West if we win out. So, now, granted, the Broncos beat the Chiefs last night on Christmas. They're 13-3 now. So, we can't. Obviously, I wasn't worried about that game because I knew they were going to beat the Chiefs, even though it was close. But because we got to worry about the Houston Texans, but all we need is a chance. All we need is a chance. That's all I ask. And like I said, we're 5-0 against the AFC West for the first time in our franchise history. And it's like, what better way to capitalize a season like that to win the AFC West? Because we went 9 straight years of Kansas City Chiefs win the AFC West. I got tired of it. I was to the point where I don't care who wins the AFC West. Even if it's not us, I do not want the Chiefs to win it for 10th straight year in a row. Like, I really don't. And I thought the Broncos were probably going to win it because, the season we kind of had, like, it's iffy and our injuries. So I think, like, okay, Denver's going to win it. But when we won those last couple games, we're like, okay, we still got a chance. And then Broncos lost to Jacksonville. I was like, what, Jacksonville, I forgive y'all. Y'all beat us 35-6. All is forgiven. Unless we meet y'all in the playoffs. But all is forgiven. Now, granted, hey, that's over now. Our next game is against Houston Texans. 10-5. This is a huge game. It got me nervous. Mainly because, like I said, last year we faced this team in the wild card round. We lost 32-12. We got obliterated. I thought in that game we had a chance. Because, Texans, young quarterback C.J. Stroud, second year. Of course, they got a good defense, but offense not really a big threat. And, we got Justin Herbert. We got a decent offense. Our defense is somewhat okay. I'm thinking, okay, we got a chance. It'll be close, but we got a chance. And next thing I know, they smacked us in the face. Herbert throws 4 picks. That season, he only threw 3 picks alone. I think like two or three picks alone that season last year. And he threw 4 in one game. And I'm like, granted, I know we got young receivers like Lad McConkey, a rookie receiver, Quentin Johnson, a second-year receiver, but you can't make it worse on the team. Now, that game, I can't defend Justin Herbert, but that Jacksonville game a couple years ago, I can't. That wasn't on him. That was on uh, former head coach Brandon Staley. But this game, I think that was on Herbert. Not all on him, but I can't defend that. So the criticism, I think he does deserve from that game. But like I said, yes, we lost 32-12. Herbert in that game went 14-32, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. So that game did not help at all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm nervous in this game. I think should Houston be favored? Yeah, even though it's at home, we all wearing our Supercharger uniforms. We've been undefeated in those uniforms, but that don't mean nothing on the field. And I'm nervous because of that pass rush that the Houston Texans got. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter both got at least 10 sacks this season. They have been the best duo by far in the league this season. And you got an all-pro corner in Derek Stingley. So that secondary ain't no joke either with him. Even though we got multiple weapons, but I know Justin Herbert's gonna have to use his legs in this game. Saturday, 4:30 tomorrow. I know he's gonna have to use it, and I'm nervous. I know, and like I said in this episode, our offensive line played their best game against the Cowboys, but that's the Cowboys. Houston Texans got a far better defensive line than the Cowboys. Far better. So, do I expect them to give up no sacks? No. If we can keep it to maybe 1, or if we keep it to maybe 2 sacks, I'll take that. And I expect, Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert to watch the film, see what they did wrong in the AFC wildcard game last year. But also more importantly, watch the film this season. So, of course, you're going against a phenomenal pass rush. It's going to be hard. A great corner, Derek Stingley. But, I'm not worried as far as him. I'm more worried about Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Them two coming off the edge. I'm worried about them because we don't have Rashawn Slater or Joe Alt. So my heart is almost pounding right now because thinking about it. But if we can win this game, then next week comes down for the AFC West Title against the Denver Broncos in Denver. Now, granted, that game's going to be nervous, but at least it's a chance. It's going to be a game that gives us a chance to win our division, get a home playoff game. It gives us a chance because, yes, against the Steelers, I wouldn't mind. I like our chances, but still going into Pittsburgh, that weather, it still gives us a little disadvantage. And it gives us a chance to get the number 1 seed. Not saying we're going to get it, but I'm not even worried about the number 1 seed. I'm worried about the division, winning the AFC West, because that could be a big deal for us heading to next season. We get healthy. The offseason, we sign some offensive linemen or draft some offensive linemen. Really, I say sign. Get some established veterans that are established. We don't have to worry about them being a rookie. We know they can block. We know they're going to show up. And hopefully they stay healthy. And we're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year. But, yeah, this game is huge game. These next 2 games are huge. I'm praying that the offensive line plays half of what they did against the Cowboys. At least half. You give up 2 sacks. Two. Now, let's get back to the offensive side of the ball against C.J. Stroud. Now, I know, granted, they struggled against the Raiders. I don't know what they got going on. The Houston Texans offensive line is not that strong. So, I hope Tui Tulupu has a great game this year. He has 13 sacks. We still got Khalil Mack. We got Dayon Henley, Tart. We got Steele, Hart. We got of course the best safety in the game, Derwin James. So I expect our defense to show up, play good. Of course the only person I'm worried about on the Houston Texans offense is Nico Collins. So granted, they give up 100 yards like he gets against George Pickens. That's fine as long as we win the game. But I expect Tui Tulupu and Khalil Mack to show up, get that pass rush going. I expect to stop the run, get to C.J. Stroud, throw him off his game. Because like I said, this season he hasn't really been all that what he used to be in that first year. So it's going to be an interesting game and probably going to be a low-scoring game, I hope. Because if we lose this game, then means Denver wins the AFC West. Then, it's pretty much over at that point. Even though we did clinch the playoff berth, but I would like an AFC West championship. I would love that. Heck, I might order my hat and t-shirt, not even gonna lie. Because 9 straight years of Kansas City Chiefs, winning, I got tired of it. It's annoying. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm nervous. We got Houston Texans. We handle business at home. It's gonna be a tough game, and I'm just saying, like, offensive line, I grant, I know they're backups, but you made to the NFL for a reason. You getting paid thousands and millions of dollars to play the game you love. It's time to step up. Come on, you gotta realize you got a transcended franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert, who's putting the team on his back. If I was offensive lineman and I'm a backup and I'm playing now because of Joel and Rashawn Slater injured, I'm looking at Justin Herbert and I see him with that glove and that on his broken hand, non-throwing hand. I'm like, you know what, man? He going out there putting the team on his back. All I can do is give my all and make sure I do my best to protect him. And I can keep him on his feet and give him a little bit of time to throw, then we got a chance. With Justin Herbert, we got a chance. I feel like really, even against that pass rush against Houston and Denver, we got a chance because we got Justin Herbert. Matter of fact, that game against Denver early in the season, he led a game-tying drive. He was under pressure. Denver's pass rushers was in his face. He threw the ball right here, got the ball past the defender, threw the touchdown pass to Keenan Allen, and tied the game up. Then after that, he led a game-winning field goal drive to win the game against Denver with a horrible offensive line. Now, granted, I think, of course, Joe Alt was playing, so that's a huge problem right there in itself, missing Joe Alt. But even with that, our offensive line was still shaky because Rashawn Slater was injured, Mekhi Becton, and all them boys were injured. But I feel like as long as we got Justin Herbert and we can keep him somewhat up and give him a chance to throw the ball, I like our chances. Even against that Denver pass rush, even against Patrick Surtain, Riley Moss, Ufunga, Greenlaw. But it's going to be hard. I can't worry about Denver right now. I have to worry about Houston because their defense is just as scary as Denver's, especially that pass rush. The pass rush is even more ferocious than Denver's with Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson. But yeah, that's what I definitely want to talk about. Today's episode, my Chargers clinching a playoff spot for the second straight year in a row. Beating the Cowboys and, of course, the Colts losing to the 49ers. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. He had a great game coming back, 44 years old. He had a great game, but, and he's an all-time great Charger, one of the all-time greats in our franchise history, future Hall of Famer. And, but hey, I appreciate, helping my Chargers out in a way and clinching a playoff spot. And, we'll just see what happens tomorrow. I'm all praying it works out. I'm going to be nervous watching the game. I'm going to be tuned in. But yeah, I definitely appreciate each one of y'all always tuning in for an episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. Follow me on all social medias regarding Cameron Sports Podcast. We're getting closer to the end of the year. We hit our goal of 300 subscribers next year. 500, 1,000. Really I'm shooting for 1,000. Why not? Because, I don't want to keep playing with my potential, especially with this show. I want to try to keep doing my best little by little. But I want to shoot for 1,000. But I'll settle for 500, of course. Anywhere between, as long as I know I've grown within a year with this channel, that gonna mean a lot to me. And like I said, if you want to touch down with Cam, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, hit that notification button to stay up to date with all episodes. Regarding Cameron Sports Podcast, and of course, I hope you all enjoyed y'all Christmas yesterday. I hope y'all have a happy New Year. Hope y'all go into the New Year positive with some goals. Even if I don't accomplish my goals next year, I'll be happy if you accomplish your goals, even though I'm going to make sure I accomplish at least some of my goals. But yeah, I'll catch y'all next time. This has been your favorite host of your favorite sports podcast, Cameron Lindsay, signing out. Bolt up, baby. I'll catch y'all next time.